As with any community, the Drupal world has its own slang. Fortunately, there's not too much of it. But understanding the few Drupal-specific terms there are will help you to communicate not only with others who use Drupal, but also to understand some of the concepts you'll meet again and again as you create your Drupal site. The first important concept is that of the node. In Drupal, a node is any piece of information that you create as a single unit. For example, when we click here on the Drupal.org website, we see this page, which is a node. It may link to other nodes, as it does here, and it may appear as part of a page, a story, a blog post, anything like that. They're all nodes. The second concept is a content type. Content types distinguish one type of node from another. In that list I just gave, page, story, blog post, each of those is a content type and can be treated slightly differently in your Drupal site. You'll see more of that as the course progresses. The third concept to know is that of the module. In Drupal, a module is a piece of software that you can put into Drupal to give it additional functionality. On the Drupal.org website, you get modules from download and modules. And here, as you scroll down, you can see a list of categories of module. Next to them is the number of modules that are available in that category. As you can see, there are many modules in Drupal, and we'll be talking about several of them throughout the course. Another concept in Drupal is that of the theme. A theme is a unified graphic presentation for an entire Drupal site. I'll give you an example. You see the blue area at the top of this site and the typefaces of a certain sort. If we go to another Drupal site, in this case SaveMyHomebook.com, which is my own website, you see that it has a completely different look, different typefaces, different colors, different layout, and so forth. That layout stays the same as you go from page to page to page. And in fact, the theme is what defines the look of the entire site. The next word to know is core. The core is the basic set of modules that's included with the default Drupal download. The core is broken into two parts: optional modules and required modules. The required modules are the very centerpiece of the Drupal project. Without them, you can't run a Drupal site. Fortunately, they're all included in the download that you can get from the front page of Drupal.org. The next word to know is template. A template is a file in the programming language PHP that defines how nodes of a certain content type will appear. For example, if your site was a catalog of products, you could create a content type called product listing, and then build a custom product listing template so that all products are presented in a distinct but unified format. Building templates is a very advanced subject, and we'll only touch on it briefly in the PHP chapter later in this course. The next term to know is taxonomy. A taxonomy is how you put items into categories. You might know this from other websites as tagging. For example, let's say that you have a story about the election race for a local town's mayor. That might be put into a politics category, as well as a category that has the name of the town. These categories and the system that you set up to put that story into those categories is known as its taxonomy. Drupal allows a very broad system of taxonomies, and you'll see how that works also in this series. The next term to know is aggregator. An aggregator is a program that collects information from various sorts and puts them in one easy-to-read place. It's also commonly known as an RSS reader. Drupal has an aggregator built into it, so you can display syndicated content from many places on your Drupal site. And if we return to my site, SaveMyHomebook.com, and go back to the home page, this latest foreclosure news is actually using Drupal's aggregator. It pulls in news stories from around the web and posts their headlines here. Another term to know is DrupalCon, and you can see that on the home page of Drupal.org. If we click on it, we go to its homepage at DrupalCon.org. DrupalCon is a semi-annual gathering of Drupal developers, and that gathering moves from city to city. As you could see, the one coming up next as we're making this video is in Szeged, Hungary. Another part of the Drupal community whose name you should know is the Drupal Association. The Drupal Association is an organization dedicated to, as the website says, helping the open-source Drupal CMS project flourish. Its president is Dries Buytaert, who's Drupal's original creator. You can go to the Drupal Association's website at association.drupal.org. The last word to know is an odd little word for an odd little item, Druplicon. The Druplicon is this little mascot up here that looks like a drop of water. And there you have it. While discussions on Drupal.org can get pretty technical, you now know enough jargon to understand most of what you read there.